Welcome to episode number 40 of the College Hoops 2K Legacy Mode series, featuring our main man Ken Carter. And today is the biggest day of Coach Carter's college coaching career after winning his second conference championship in his fifth season at the University of Tennessee Martin. The Skyhawks were awarded the 13th seed in the West region of Season 5's NCAA tournament, and Ken Carter has a chance to lead his troops against arguably the best team in the nation, the 4th-seeded Kansas Jayhawks. And last episode we heard what color commentator Clark Kellogg had to say about the Jayhawks, stating that, quote, Kansas got a raw deal by slipping to a 4 seed, and safe to say I cannot blame him. The Jayhawks have the most explosive offensive attack in the country, posting nearly 90 points a clip a night as a club. Coach Carter's got a battle against some pretty good coaching in the past, but today it's Ken Carter versus Bill Self, one of the best coaches to ever do it. And while Ken Carter is still trying to win his first ever NCAA tournament game for not only himself, but for the school of UT Martin, Bill Self has won 47 in his career and also hoisted a national championship with Mario Chalmers back in 2008, hitting one of the biggest shots in tournament history. And Bill Self is back at it again with a team this season that could easily win number 2 for him. 89.2 points per game, that's the top offense in the country by 3 points, so it's not even close at the top. And the Jayhawks finished 7th in the final media poll before Selection Sunday. And the big question is, how did Kansas slip to a 4 seed? As again, just like in Season 3's tournament appearance for our Skyhawks, the seeding is again against them. Kansas began the year winning 11 straight games and had some battles over time, almost beating Florida in non-conference play, and the Gators are actually the number 1 seed in our bracket. Down the stretch though, Kansas buttered a bit, but for good reason. They suffered 2 injuries to 2 forwards in the rotation, and we'll talk about that more later, and the rebounding took a big hit. They closed the season losing 4 of 10 and falling to Kansas State in the Big 12 tournament's quarterfinal, losing 5 of 6 against the top 25 this season. When you look between the lines, you start to see why the committee felt the need to demote them to a 4 seed, but if a couple more things made it fell their way, I bet you they would have been a number 1 seed. Let's talk about RPI for a second. If you're unfamiliar with college basketball, you may not understand RPI, and it's basically a calculation of a team's wins, losses, strength of schedule, basically every paper stat you can think of, and every team is ranked on the RPI scale in the entire NCAA, field. UT Martin finished the season at 163 out of 300 something, not too shabby for an Ohio Valley school, but Kansas, as you can see here, is 8-1 against teams ranked 100 through 200 in the RPI, and their only loss was to Pepperdine, who was also a 13 seed in the bracket, much like UT Martin. So Kansas has proven that they don't play down to their opponents. So we've done so much talking about the stats and coaching, but let's meet the players of this scary Kansas team. The Jayhawks have 4 players who average double digits, and they're all seniors. It's not often you see this much experience on Kansas, and the main man to watch out for is 6'8" senior Miles McCormick. 19.5 points, 1.5 block shots, ranking top 5 in the Big 12 in those categories. McCormick has soft hands and good footwork for a guy his size, and it wouldn't surprise me to see Coach Carter sticking Blaine Fry on him everywhere he goes. Lorenzo Larson is the Jayhawks point man, a very savvy veteran guard who picks his spots very well and can rack up assists and shoot the 3-ball well. Starting at small forward, Lucas Goodwin is the best 3-ball shooter on this team, 39% from 3, and is also their best defender. 6'7" Orlando Langford, he can play a number of positions, very versatile player who can guard any position. I mean, they have just talents oozing everywhere on this team. A whopping 8 seniors are on this Kansas squad, and in real life we're seeing coaches move on from the one-and-done era, and it looks like the virtual NCAA is adopting it as well. And in a game as lopsided as this, as a coach, you have to try to find weaknesses you can and use it to your advantage. And Coach Carter may have done just that, as Kansas will be without starting center Craig Victoriano and backup center a 7'2" sophomore Yemi Dakide, and that leaves a big hole in the middle for a Kansas team who has seen struggles at times rebounding the ball. And in steps in 6'7" sophomore Emmanuel Casey, and he will be projected to start at center tonight. Casey has only averaged 2 points and 1 rebound in 5 minutes a game this season. And with all this in mind, everything we just went over, Coach Carter stays up late, puts in extra time before the tournament to make sure his team is preparing mentally as much as they are physically. and Carter has 5 more prep talks he can give to players, and he opts to give one to Pierre Hamilton, Luke Lawton, Blaine Fry, and Chris Fay, so a starting 5 with the exception of Jacques Diggs. And the last one goes to freshman Dusty Harrison. Harrison has been primarily a spot-up shooter, very efficient in his freshman season, and Coach Carter wants to make sure he's ready for the moment. Diggs is always ready, you guys know him well, he oozes confidence no matter the stage he's on. And thus, Coach Carter continues to work his magic. You already know his makeup, he really thrives as an underdog as a coach. And he hands out his pep talks and goes back to the drawing board for his chance at a life-changing upset. Going up against a team like Kansas, you don't just average nearly 90 points a night for what you do on offense, but for their effort on defense as well. They like to pick you up full court man-to-man and force easy buckets out of mistakes and turnovers with their athleticism. And with guys like Larson and Goodwin who are so deadly on defense, they've been forcing mistakes all season long against very stiff competition. And Coach Carter is deciding to take a very interesting approach to combat the Jayhawks offense and defense. We've watched Coach Carter for 5 seasons now. We know he's not afraid to trap you full court and let his players beat you with their speed, but he's changing his DNA this game. UT Martin is not going to beat Kansas trying to outshoot them or outscore them. You're just not. And he wants his Skyhawks to avoid the temptation of running and gunning in the open court like they've done all season. So expect UT Martin to use the shot clock against Kansas. And he's also taken away his signature full court trap defense in order to further slow down the tempo of this game. And with UTM trying to do what they can to control the pace, Coach Carter also shortens up his rotation. No full court press means more fresh legs for UT Martin. And finally, Kansas is shorthanded at the big man spots tonight, and UT Martin really needs to win the rebounding battle. And Coach Carter is stressing to crash the glass in order to take advantage of the Skyhawks' only really glaring advantage. So ahead of this game, Coach Carter is thinking outside of the box and switching up his pedigree for the biggest game here at the college level of his coaching career. And with that, finally, we've reached the end of the game plan. We've finished going over all of the X's and O's. It's finally time for some basketball. The 13th seeded Tennessee Martin Skyhawks travel to Albany, New York for the first weekend of the NCAA tournament, seeking their first March Madness victory in not only Coach Carter's career, but in school history as well. We've gone over so much prepping and extra time put in by Coach Carter and his players. But let's see, he's about to engage in a battle of wits between him and the Kansas Jayhawks and his counterpartner, head coach Bill Self of the Jayhawks. And here we go, taking the floor. Here we go, finally, we're ready for some basketball as Emmanuel Casey and Chris Fay meet for the tip-off, and Chris Fay earns the first possession for UT Martin. They have first rights to the orange out of the tip and will set things up on offense. Here comes the 26-5 UT Martin Skyhawks, 18-2 in the conference this season. And we talked a lot pre-game of Coach Carter trying to do what he can to slow down the tempo of this game as Pierre Hamilton directs traffic here on the first possession. Shot clock down to 12. Ball reversal. This one will go to the corner for Jacques Diggs, and he gives away UT Martin's first possession of the ball game. Lorenzo Larson now has a chance to get his Jayhawks on the board for the first time. Lucas Goodwin looks back to Larson for the secondary break triple, and the Kansas Jayhawks strike first, 3-0, and here we go with the full court man-to-man press. Dangerous pass by Hamilton, but he gets it through. Yet another empty possession, however, for UT Martin, as Miles McCormick goes on the offensive here against Blaine Fry. Bounce pass to Langford from the short corner, not happening this time. Emmanuel Casey's there, no good, but on the third effort, there's Miles McCormick, by far the best offensive threat for Kansas, averaging 19.5 points, 1.5 blocks, second in the Big 12 in points per game. And letting the nation's best offense in the country having a third chance at it is not how UT Martin wanted to open up this game, but now a pick and roll between Hamilton and Chris Fay will merit some free throws. And a big storyline down the season, Christopher Fay, the 7-foot senior from Senegal, Africa, he's averaging 14.5 points, 6.5 rebounds in his senior season, but over his last 11 games, Fay has been superb. 17.1 points, 9 rebounds on the dot, and he has been probably the best player on the UT Martin roster down the stretch of this season. No good on his second free throw, but now Blaine Fry is there. Blaine Fry, the 6'10 junior from Milwaukee, he has always been a spark plug for this team. And it cuts the lead down to 2 as Pierre Hamilton will try to attack off the dribble. Tough take there, but Blaine Fry is there, drawing more free throws. His second offensive rebound in as many possessions. And Lucas Goodwin is tacked for the foul. Gotta love what you're seeing. As Coach Carter instilling this game plan in his players, he continues to want to crash the glass and take advantage of Kansas's weakest link, which is Emmanuel Casey, the sophomore, as he will actually check out with Miles McCormick. And for the first time tonight, we're seeing Kansas go a little small ball as Lucas Goodwin moves to the 4, and Noah Dillard checks in, a 6'6 senior who moves to the small ball 5, and he beats Faye backdoor there to give Kansas the lead right back. Dillard, a senior from Kansas City, Missouri, 8 points and 3.5 rebounds off the bench for him. As here we go with Hamilton finds Lawton for the first three-point attempt of the ball game. It's off the mark by Luke Lawton, but Chris Faye is there to tip it back up and in. Kansas so versatile, trying to go with the small ball, but that's not going to do them any favors on the glass. Chris Faye and Luke Lawton there, the first 2 recruits ever for Coach Carter at UT Martin. They get it done there, and now Chris Faye forces a steal on the next possession. 7-up ball game, 11:44 to go here in the first half of the first round of the NCAA tournament. More pick and roll offense for the Skyhawks, attacking the Jayhawks down low. Once again, a tough little hook, but Chris Faye gets it to go. Points 4 and 5 for the senior, and UT Martin has their first lead of the night. 9-7 Skyhawks, as now Kai Neal checks in, the backup point guard for the Jayhawks. Langford with a swing pass to Lorenzo Larson, who gets it done again. The second 3 for the senior, savvy veteran guard. 2 for 2 on the night. Kansas back up by 3. Approaching 10 minutes to go here in the first half. Hamilton almost gives it away, and then he tries to look for Blaine Fry, who was not expecting the pass, goes right over his head, and Orlando Langford and the nation's top offense will set things up. Langford will be Jacques Diggs' primary battler today. Langford, a 6'7 senior, is the primary 2-guard for Kansas, so definitely a bit of a mismatch for the 5'9 Diggs. As we continue forward, 9:40 to go in the first half. As Chris Faye sets a cross screen in the post to free up Blaine Fry, an opportunity to work inside the post, works with a drop step, and there's points 5 and 6 for Blaine Fry as Chris Faye nearly stole that inbounds pass, but Lorenzo Larson secures the possession finally for the Jayhawks. But here comes Pierre Hamilton from behind as he rips it away. Him and Diggs pressure Larson into getting another possession, and here we go with Diggs in the short corner. Nicely done there on the fast break. Pierre Hamilton's first assist, Jacques Diggs' first points, and Bill Self burns his first timeout in the ball game. 9:07 left to go in the first half, 6 unanswered points for the Skyhawks as we take a break. UT Martin making some switches out of the timeout. Jacques Diggs moves to the point guard position as Dusty Harrison checks in at the 2. And also Teron Gardner joins him out on the floor. Harrison shot the 3 ball all season, but that's a tough shot right there. Meanwhile, Lucas Goodwin on the fast break. Wide open. Kansas opens it up a little bit. Now back up by 4. And they would score once again, 19-13 with the possession. Kai Neal tries it from 15, but this one is secured by Chris Faye as he collects rebound number 4 as he clears it. 7:12 to go as Jacques Diggs likes what he sees in transition. We haven't seen much of that from UT Martin all day, but there's points 3 and 4 for Jacques Diggs. Bill Self burns timeout number 2, and we'll be back in the NCAA tournament in a second. Once again, no press for UT Martin as Larson coasts the ball up the floor, and no more small ball for the Jayhawks as Miles McCormick checks back in and delivers a backdoor feed to Orlando Langford that time, as Coach Carter also switches a matchup. He puts Luke Lawton on Langford. Much better matchup as Langford gets fouled by Blaine Fry, providing the help. 10 points, 4 rebounds in Langford's senior year he averages. And Kansas shoots the free throws very well. 79% as a club, the best free throw shooting team in the entire Big 12, as Diggs will try again but is sent back by Miles McCormick. Casey collects, outlet to Larson, and that is a beautiful fast break run with possibly the best pass we'll see all day long. Larson links up with backup point guard Drew Oliver, and once again Larson gets it done. A beautiful assist for the savvy senior. So 23-15, UT Martin in desperate need of some offense, still running with the same 5 out there as Lawton flashes to the ball. That one's tipped by Emmanuel Casey, still without a 3 ball made in the entire game. That's only their second time attempting one from 3. And still down by 8, UT Martin looking a little bit wary here on the offensive end as Diggs will set things up. Spacing doesn't look very good on this possession, but Blaine Fry will go to the low block. Harrison, good vision, finds Lawton, and a whistle is blown on the shot. Orlando Langford fouls Luke Lawton on the closeout. That's his second personal. You never want to foul a jump shooter. That's the golden rule of defense. And Lawton will knock down 2 of 3 after missing the first. And Luke, it's been pretty interesting here at the end of his senior year. We've talked a lot about him expanding his offensive game. He's been shooting around 34% from 3, which is serviceable, but that average has dwindled down to 28% here heading into this Kansas game, so he's been struggling from 3 recently at the tail end of his senior year as Schneiderman checks in for Lawton out of the free throw, and that one's off the mark, so now 0 for 3 from deep is the UT Martin Skyhawks. Bounce pass from Drew Oliver. That will be an assist to DJ Johnson, the backup small forward. And Kansas Sports, their biggest lead of the ball game, is now Coach Carter Burns 1. And facing elimination right in the face, we'll be right back with UT Martin. A 10-point advantage for the Skyhawks. 4:20 left to go in the first half. Lorenzo Larson sets things up out of the timeout, and look at Pierre Hamilton. He's really getting up on his grill. Look at this, staying firm step for step, and he draws a 5-second closely guarded call. Lorenzo Larson is tacked with the turnover, his 3rd on the ball game, and I know Pierre Hamilton's stats may not jump out at you this game, but he's really doing his best to try to stop Lorenzo Larson. And now Teron Gardner, more post-up action, tries to spin away from the double team, but the help comes. And UT Martin, they were trying to go down low early. It was working for him, but now a couple stops down low for Kansas. Speaking of stops, Blaine Fry gets one on the backdoor feed and finds Teron Gardner for his first basket. Blaine Fry to Teron Gardner, and with Chris Fay as a senior, that's going to be your front court next year for UT Martin, as the front court to be links up for a huge dunk opportunity in the open floor. 3:33 left to go, 27-19. As 3:31 left to go, as Lucas Goodwin secures the offensive rebound, but the second chance is silenced by Teron Gardner, playing some big minutes here. He's the energizer. That's how we've come to know him. He's really been the X factor on this team all season long. He'll stay with it, but Lucas Goodwin returns the favor with a block shot down low. What an athlete that kid is. As DJ Johnson will pull in the face of Luke Lawton. Kansas with their 4th made tray ball, and UT Martin is still in search for their first. You guys know that is not how Coach Carter likes to run his offense. He likes to use the 3 ball to his advantage, but Kansas has just been so quick with their lateral movements and rotations. They just haven't presented an opportunity to really shoot yet. That is until Jacques Diggs works off the ball. He puts the ball on the floor after the pump fake, and finally, here we go with UT Martin getting on the board from deep. 30-22, the first made tray ball in 4 attempts, as DJ Johnson tries to find the curler. Extra pass to Lorenzo Larson, and the 15-footer is made. 8 points and 3 assists for the point guard for Kansas. Now a 12-point game for Kansas as we dwindle the minutes into seconds. 45 left to go. Backdoor feed. Nice job, Teron Gardner being available for that catch and shoot. And he's got 4 points. And another assist for Pierre Hamilton. And after UTM forced a stop after a Kansas shot went out of bounds, they'll set things up for one last chance to cut it to single digits before the intermission. Here we go with Jacques Diggs. They switched the matchup. First it was Emmanuel Casey. Now Lucas Goodwin will try to stay in front of him. 1 second left. Diggs finishes over Kansas's best defender to end the first half of action. Oh my goodness, Diggs does it again. He's played a couple huge minutes, has made some huge baskets, including that 3-pointer not too long ago. And then this basket it takes the cake down the stretch, but you see it on his face. Jacques Diggs knows there's still work to be done. So we're here at the end of the first 15 minutes of action, and I really don't think the 8-point lead shows how competitive UT Martin has been. A couple more shots go our way, and this would be a 1-possession game, I bet. With our methodical approach, we've held the nation's best offense at 34 points, and Kansas only beat us on the glass by 2 rebounds. We've also forced Kansas into a lot of mistakes, 17 turnovers already for a squad that only averages a 10.5 a night. Every starter on our team has recorded at least 1 steal. Jacques Diggs went into takeover mode there a bit, 9 points pacing all players. And the play we've gotten from our big men have been fantastic. Faye is 5 and 4 and closed down the passing lanes inside. Fry and Gardner were a dynamic duo there. but we just need to start knocking down our shots. We had looks we should have knocked down, but for instance, Lawton and Harrison haven't had it today. They are combined 0 for 6 from the field. Lorenzo Larson leads Kansas 8-4, but at times he's looked uncomfortable thanks to Hamilton applying pressure. Langford added 6, but we haven't heard much of Miles McCormick thus far, only 2 field goals for him. All in all, Coach Carter's game plan has really caught Kansas off guard, you can tell. We just need to knock down our open shots finally and keep Kansas away from their transition game. The second half of the NCAA tournament round of 64 is up next, so stay tuned. Welcome back to the first round action of the NCAA tournament. The 4th seeded Jayhawks up by 8 as we check things up here in the second half of action, and Orlando Langford is already soaring up to the cup. Chris Fay checks back in for the second half as Teron Gardner earns some extra minutes with his good play. But Chris Fay already back on the floor, and he's greeted with a flying 6'7" Langford at the rim. And Kansas continues to knock down their free throws, only missing 1 so far this ball game. 37-26. The Jayhawks back up by 11 as Hamilton will receive a screen on the first possession of UT Martin's side of things here in the second half. And Hamilton is bumped by Goodwin. Another physical play here to begin things. And Pierre Hamilton, he may have laid a goose egg in the first half, didn't score, but it's good to see him get some opportunities from the free throw line. He deserves it. He knocks down 2 for 2, and I like to see him get on the stat sheet after doing what he can to try to stop the career night by Lorenzo Larton this far. So, forcing a stop, up by 9, UT Martin, as Luke Lawton controls the fast break, finds Chris Fay, and a powerful move by the 7-footer. 0.6 and 7 for Chris Fay. He's knocked down 3 of 5 this far, and what could be his last game of his UT Martin career if he doesn't win. He finds another senior in the corner, Luke Lawton, with the best look all day we've had from 3, but we just have not knocked down our shots. 1 for 5 as a team from 3. As here we go with Lorenzo Larson at the controls, 12-12 left to go in the second half. Miles McCormick's met with the trap. Ball reversal to Orlando Langford, and he'll knock one through, and that really has just been the name of the game today. Here's Kansas' 6th tray ball as a team. They're making their shots while we are not. 12-point game. This could be a much different game if we could just knock one down. Here we go with Jacques Diggs, and you know he loves to operate at the elbow, but that time it doesn't go so well. And another lob pass. This time it's Lorenzo Larson to Nate Dillard for yet another assist. That's number 8 already for Lorenzo Larson as he continues to facilitate at a sky-high level. 16-point advantage for the Kansas Jayhawks as Pierre Hamilton tries to put on the move. Bounce pass down low to Nate Dillard on Chris Fay, and that one's ripped away. A lot of contact, but no whistle. But Luke Lawton still playing. He takes it right back, and Chris Fay down on the other side of the floor scores over Nate Dillard. Screaming Paul doesn't lie on his way back on defense. That's what you like to see. Finally, some fight for UT Martin as this game dwindles below 10. Lorenzo Larson, oh, we caught a break there, but Nate Dillard's on the glass, but another break is caught as Teron Gardner checks back in. This time he subs out for Blaine Fry. 9:30 left to go in the ball game. Sets a screen for Pierre Hamilton. He rolls again, and once again Pierre Hamilton will find him for another assist. Gardner with points 5 and 6. Half of his shots have been made. 51-36, a 15-point deficit is now Evan Schneiderman and Dusty Harrison check in. You just gotta hope UT Martin has enough scoring on the floor with this lineup. They are in desperate need of some points right now. 8:20 left to go. From the elbow, Blaine Fry will receive a pass. Looks cross court. Evan Schneiderman wide open. Finally, a tray ball falls for UT Martin. 2 of 8 for the game thus far, but it comes at the most opportune time. 7:12 left to go. Ball reversal. Orlando Langford looking for Miles McCormick, and he tries to get it to him off the curl screen. And off of that screen, all McCormick had to do was lay up and over Pierre Hamilton. We haven't heard much of McCormick today. Only 6 points for him as Blaine Fry and Teron Gardner has been keeping his hands full. 53-40, running out of time are the Skyhawks. Here we go with Hamilton, continues to control the tempo, lots of half-court sets for UT Martin as Evan Schneiderman works off the dribble and he will score again. Evan Schneiderman has been so good at the tail end of his sophomore year. He's really come into his own after really riding the bench for his first 2 seasons here at UT Martin. You guys know he's a spot-up shooter, but there he is working with the ball in his hands. Nicely done there. 53-42, still the same lineup with the exception of Chris Fay checking back in for Teron Gardner. McCormick high post, that one's tipped around, but somehow, someway, Orlando Langford gets it back. And already 5 team fouls for UT Martin. They approach being in the penalty. Kansas has gotten to the free throw line a lot here in the second half, a lot more than they did in the first 15 minutes. 6 now to go. 55-42, Jacques Diggs open from the corner. Way to make the extra pass, Dusty Harrison. He has not had it today, missing his 4 opportunities to shoot the ball, but he finds Diggs in a very important assist there. Now Diggs tries to operate again, that shot is blocked, but UT Martin grabs yet another offensive rebound in the game with 5 seconds on the clock. Diggs goes to work. Crossover on Orlando Langford. He soars up for a 3-point play and the biggest possession of the ball game. Jacques Diggs, our team captain on the offensive end. Nobody you'd rather see have the ball in their hands. Jacques Diggs is such a gamer. Oh my goodness, what a take. As Casey and Dillard check back in for the Jayhawks, and this free throw is very short for Diggs, but somehow he collects an improbable offensive rebound. It comes back to him off the back tip, and here we go with Diggs. He gives it to Harrison, wide open, but he misses again. You need to knock down those shots if you're going to beat Kansas. 10-point game, 3:42 left to go, and more free throws. Between Luke Lawton and Dusty Harrison, the UT Martin Skyhawks have just not gotten the wing production they needed. As the starters, they're heading to the scorers table. They're coming back in. 3:42 left to go as Kansas will be in the penalty from here on out with that foul. Lorenzo Larson knocks down 2 for 2 to go along with his 8 assists. And it'll be the starters for the last 3:42 left to go in the ball game. So here we go, basically the last chance for UT Martin today if they want to crack at this upset. And a pretty quick possession, but Pierre Hamilton, poor shot selection there. Lucas Goodwin soars up and sends him back, and look at UT Martin bringing the trap there, but the friendly bounce goes. Lucas Goodwin for 3-pointer number 2 and another assist for Larson. So it looks like UT Martin wants to speed up this game a little bit finally. We've been waiting on that. But with that 3 for Lucas Goodwin, it looks a little bleak, but not if Jacques Diggs has anything to say about it. 16 for the main man, the junior from San Antonio, Texas. And only Jacques Diggs can put a move like that on Goodwin, the best defender on the Jayhawks, and finish with a sweet reverse layup. So here we go, back with the 1-2-1-1 press. Emmanuel Casey's forced into a tough shot, but somehow, someway, the sophomore knocks it down. That's exactly the shot you want to force him into, but it goes for the sophomore. Back up to a 15-point game, 2:40 left to go. The Skyhawks are hanging on by a thread, but speaking of thread, Jacques Diggs threads a needle there to Chris Fay, a baker's dozen for the 7-foot senior, but once again, Kansas breaks the 1-2-1-1 press, and that one is a basket for Miles McCormick, who remains perfect from the field in this ball game. 66-51, 2:12 left to go. Entering the post again, skip past Diggs, tough shot, but he puts it through. 19 for Diggs, cutting it back down to 12, and Hamilton tips a pass. Another possession for the Skyhawks, and we'll keep it in the hands of Diggs. But Jacques looks for a teammate. He finds Luke Lawton with a mismatch, but the double comes. Lawton gives it to Diggs. The ball reversal to Hamilton, not a 3-point shooter. We need a quick possession here. Come on, we got to hurry this up, UT Martin. 15 left on the shot clock. 14. Diggs throws up the pump. Quick pick and roll between him and Chris Fay. This one is delivered inside. Fay up and under move, and another basket falls for UT Martin. They'll keep it full court, and Hamilton does it again. Another steal for UT Martin down the stretch. Maybe we should have put on this press sooner, but nonetheless, UT Martin has some new life here with 1:18 left to go. Blaine Fry now enters the post. That one's stolen though. Lorenzo Larson comes from behind Blaine Fry to poke it loose. And more trap comes for UT Martin, and Chris Fay's in there with Jacques Diggs, forcing the jump ball, possession arrow to UT Martin. Let's go! The hustle has been great for the last minute, and here we go with UT Martin again. Pierre Hamilton runs the pick and roll with Chris Fay. He's trapped. Quick pass. Jacques Diggs knocks down three-pointer number 2 in a row. 22 for Jacques Diggs. And another one falls for him. And UT Martin stays with it. Jacques Diggs getting it done on both ends, tips the pass. Kansas is completely caught off guard by the UTM defense and how aggressive they've been. Lawton for 3. Oh, that could have changed the entire landscape of the ball game, but Lawton still remains without a field goal in the ball game. Shot clock turned off. UT Martin keeps the heat on, and Pierre Hamilton pokes it loose again. He runs the floor, lob up to Lawton, and he finishes. And 1. He drew the blocking foul mid-air, and Pierre Hamilton put it in a perfect spot for Lawton. And finally, Luke records his first field goal off the three-point play, and here we go with the free throw. He missed that 3 on the last possession, but he recovers, responds, and puts up 3 here. 4-point deficit for UT Martin. 13 seconds left to go. Are they going to foul? No, they're going to continue the trap. Emmanuel Casey, that's the guy you want to foul, but Lorenzo Larson gets it back. Over the double team, they're forced to finally foul Lucas Goodwin, and they probably should have put on the intentional foul a little bit quicker, because now they only have 5.3 to work with, and if Lucas Goodwin knocks down 2 for 2, the comeback attempt will probably fall short. And this was not the guy you wanted to foul. Goodwin has been Kansas' best three-point shooter all season and their best free throw shooter at 88%. And he wipes the sweat from his brow, knocks down 2 for 2. So many emotions here in the last couple seconds of this ball game, but Lucas Goodwin, he halts the comeback attempt. 6-point deficit, 6 seconds left to go. And reality starts to set in for UT Martin. Maybe they should have put on the trap a little bit sooner. Maybe they should have tried to make Kansas uncomfortable a little bit quicker. Maybe they shouldn't have waited so long to foul. Should have, could have, would have has been the story down the stretch here. But Coach Carter wants to put all that aside and leave some lasting words for his Season 5 roster. This is basically the last game for Chris Fay and Luke Lawton in the first ever recruiting class he ever coached. And the always stern Coach Carter leaves some very nice words for his bunch. He is so proud of them today. They come up a little bit short to Kansas, and there it is, set in stone. 68-62 is your final. Basketball can be such a cruel game sometimes. Everyone counted us out, predicted us to get blown out, but with 16 seconds left, we cut it down to a 4-point game and had the basketball world stopped. Depending on who you ask, some might say we outplayed the Jayhawks today, and if only we just knocked down a few more open shots, the result of this game may have been different. Unfortunately, this marks the end of our one shining moment here in Season 5, but I guess that's the beauty of March Madness, right? Everyone gets to play. Everyone gets to dream. And with that, that marks the end, an emotional one at that, of Season 5, coming 6 points shy of Kansas. And you really saw Coach Carter's pre-game game plan really worked very well. We held the top nation in the offense to 68 points. And if only we knocked down a few more shots here and there, the result of this game might have been a little bit different. Jacques Diggs with 22 points to end off his junior year. He becomes a senior. And Luke Lawton and Chris Fay, the first 2 recruits ever for Coach Carter that he himself recruited to play for UT Martin, they move on. Luke Lawton 5 points and 2 steals in his last game here at UT Martin. And Chris Fay leaves after a legendary second half to his senior year with a very good performance against one of the better big men in the entire nation, Miles McCormick. All in all, you can't hang your head in shame. I firmly believe that we outplayed the Jayhawks today. Of course, I might be a little biased, but that's just what I saw. A couple more shots, and we'd be playing in the second round after a colossal upset. But sometimes things don't fall your way in the game of basketball, and things don't always go the way you plan it. But it's all good. I mean, Coach Carter's still getting looked at by a lot of mid-major programs, and that's really the next chapter for Coach Carter. What does he do this off-season? Does he come back to UT Martin to try to finally secure the first ever win in school history in the March Madness tournament and in his coaching career? Or does he seek a bigger job from the conferences of WCC or perhaps the MAC? There are schools out there dying for Coach Carter to take the reins of their program. Schools that will pay better and give us more competitive games in bigger conferences. So, it's really all up to you guys. What do you think we should do? Should we leave Coach Carter's legacy here after a historic 5-year run with UT Martin, 2 conference championships, 2 NCAA tournament bids, and over 100 wins in 5 seasons, all thanks to Coach Carter? Do we try to come back for one more season to finally capture that very elusive first win in school history in March Madness? Or do we move on and say goodbye to the school we've had the reins to for the last 5 seasons here at University of Tennessee Martin and seek a better job offer from a mid-major school? I think I'm going to have a separate episode talking about all that. We still need to recap March Madness, but this was a pretty long episode, and unfortunately, it ended with some heartbreak as we say goodbye to Christopher Fay and Luke Lawton, our first 2 recruits ever in the series. And we're going to end it here, but I think I'm going to have my own episode talking about and recapping March Madness and the bracket and how it finished. I'm going to sit in and watch the national title game just like I always do, and I think I'll show you guys the 2 schools in mid-major conferences that Coach Carter has been in talks with, and they're dying for his services. And then you guys can leave in the comments next episode what you think Coach Carter should do. Stay at UT Martin for one more year, or finally chase that mid-major better job. Stay tuned for that here on the College Hoops 2K Legacy Mode series on my channel. Thanks for stopping by today, and stay tuned for the next episode.